So today we have a very special guest. He's somebody who I find to be an inspiration and somebody who has become like a second father to me, and that is Olympic gold medalist Al Joyner. In addition to winning the gold medal in 1984 for the triple jump, Al has been a public speaker, inspiring thousands with his message of believing yourself and persevering to accomplish your dreams. He's a star athlete and co-contributor of the book Awaken the Olympian Within, along with his late wife Florence Griffin Joyner, who after Al coached, went on to become a 3-time Olympic gold medalist champion. His sister Jackie Joyner Kersey is also a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and world record holder in the heptathlon, earning the Joyners the title the Royal Family of Track and Field. Al is also the coach of Jeff Henderson, who recently won the gold medal in the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics. He's the founder of WhereOlympiansAreMade.com. Today, Al joins us to talk about his journey on the road to success and share with us his tips and invaluable insight when it comes to making our dreams become a reality. Thank you so much, Al, for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And so, did you always know that you wanted to become an Olympic gold medalist? Was that something that you dreamed of as a child?
You know what? Yes, I wanted to become an Olympic gold medalist, but I wanted to become an Olympic gold medalist in swimming or diving. Mm-hmm. I never thought it would be in track and field, but I knew the common denominator for me was becoming an Olympic champion. Mm-hmm. But I just thought it was going to be in swimming.
Mm-hmm. And so, at what point did you realize that that was something that you wanted to do?
Oh, it was, I think sometimes your greatest success has come from your biggest failure. Mm-hmm. And my biggest failure at the time was that I wanted to beat this guy in this race my senior year in high school. And it was my last race, and I said, I'm going to beat this guy. I ended up jumping the gun, and I false started in this hurdle race. From that hurdle race, I went to go to the triple jump. And when they said, one moment could change your life, well, at that day I was so upset that I went to the triple jump and I'm breaking the meet record. And that changed my life. Mm-hmm. But the only reason because I was so upset because of something that I wanted so bad, but I never got a chance to fulfill it. Mm-hmm. But something that I wanted so bad ended up making me see almost 3/4 of the world. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like, so the question is, yes, I knew I was going to be an Olympic champion, but not in track and field.
Okay. And was it something that, because you've told me a lot of stories, but I just want to share with everyone watching a lot of really cool stories, that was it something that you visualized? Was it something that you envisioned happening?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. I visualized myself always seeing the world, going around the world, but at the time I didn't know how I was going to get there. Mm-hmm. But I also visualized myself as being a champion, being something. And I just knew I just wanted to, at least at one moment in the history of my lifetime, that I could say that I was the best in the world at something. Mm-hmm. And that could have been anything. Even I was the best swimmer, I was the best swimmer in my high school. But I just wanted to see, could I be something, the best something in the world, And that was a big dream, but they say if you're going to dream, you might as well dream big, and I did.
That's awesome. And I like that you mentioned that you didn't know how it was going to happen, you just knew that you wanted it to happen, because that's something that I mentioned on this channel. Like, a lot of people get caught up with, how am I going to make this happen? Right. But that ends up distracting them from just know what it is that you want, and the how will sort itself out.
Right, because I think that when you have a drive, that is your food, that is your water, that's what you got to drink. You got to drink it, almost every day, and which internalize into your mind, and then it becomes almost like one. So my drive was because I knew I could be the best, but I had to make sure that I got up, worked hard, obeyed my body, like getting rest and doing the things that I need to do. So it was my mindset, but also my mindset was the one that really kept pushing that envelope, because I kept hearing about that. Oh yeah, you can be the best. Some people lose that when they're in a competition. Is that 90% of it is mental, and the rest is 10%. So I said, well, I can do that, but I want to find out. But I did, and I like I could say right now, I won my gold medal really mentally by visualizing everything, and that's how I knew I won, because I believed in myself when no one else would.
And talking about belief, how big of a role did faith play in your success? Like faith in yourself, maybe faith in God, or just faith that it was going to happen, you know, despite not having any physical evidence of it?
You know what? I believe that my faith was that's my solid foundation. To this day, I believe in faith. If I have something, like I turn it over to God and I say, hey, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to have the faith. It's just like when I train and I coach my athletes, and I tell them, I say, you know what? I know it's trees. I always tell them, I show them a road. I say, it's trees right there, right? But I say, if I just tell you that we need to get through those trees, there's a road on the other side, you either say, is it a road on the other side, or is it just we're going to walk into a lake? I'm saying you got to have faith that it's a road on the other side. And that's the way I believe that I had faith, and I believed in God that if I did everything, if I put my heart, blood, and tears into the workouts that I was doing, and believe in myself, that all the formulas and everything I read from the Bible and things, you really have that faith that your dreams or your vision or your goals will come true. So I put that to the test, and I'm here to say that it really does happen. So anytime I get down on myself, or I think that I'm having a battle, I always look at the good, and that's the faith that I have the faith in the positive, because faith is just as strong in the negative. So I got to have faith in the positive, because you can plant two seeds. I can plant poison, or I can plant something really good. And I really plant something very good, because if I nourish it, it's gonna grow, and if I nourish that bad thought, it's gonna grow. So I might as well do the positive thought.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think so many people focus on what they don't want instead of what they do want, and they don't realize that they're having faith, like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen to me, but they're like negatively prophesying what they don't want instead of focusing on what they do want. So it's really interesting. So, and I know, like, you've told me some amazing stories, like whether it came to, like, when you first met Florence, and she was wearing a wedding dress on Halloween, and you said, oh, I'm gonna marry you, and she was like, get out of here. And so to me, like, you are just such a great example of what it means to have faith, because you just believe in something before it happens.
You have to. It goes back to me when I was in the 6th grade, and I looked out the window and I was listening to my teacher, and I was just so impressed that I was wondering, I said, man, when will the day come that I can drive my car, I can go anywhere I want to go in the world, and not be sitting in this classroom? You know, when will I have that opportunity? And I just had faith that I wanted to see the world, and I just remember that daydreaming. Right now, it makes me think about that little 12-year-old kid that was in that room looking outside. I was daydreaming about my life in the future, that I wanted to see the world. Never knew how I was going to accomplish that, and definitely think track and field was going to be one. But I did have the faith in the dream that I'll see the world, and I think that's sometimes where people realize they have a goal. And they have to remember to concentrate on the goal. They don't know that they may struggle, they may do this, but the key point is the goal and accomplishing the goal. And that's what I think that it's really helped us for me, because there's still a lot of things I want to accomplish now, and I just have faith that I'm going to do it. You know, and I just hope that I have faith in time on my side to accomplish all those goals.
Something you said kind of stood out to me. It's kind of like knowing your end destination, but not necessarily knowing what path you're gonna get there.
That's right.
But it's the journey that you don't really know, but you just have to trust the process. So let's just take a moment to talk about haters, because haters are something that anybody that is trying to pursue their goals or work towards their dreams faces. So at some point, did you have any haters? Like, what did they say? How did you react to it?
You know what? I look at haters. Haters is people that it's a really healthy thing, and that's where I look at it positively. You use those haters to motivate them, because the day that you make the hater turn their laughter and smiles to a frown, it's the most beautiful, sweetest thing you could ever enjoy. Because what I'm saying, it motivated me, because everything that somebody said that I wasn't going to accomplish, I was saying in my mind, okay, when I do accomplish, I want to make sure that you remember these words. And so haters is like, it's a saying, like I'd rather be a player being hated than a hater not being a player. And so it's like a basketball saying, I'd rather be a professional who hating on me than not, because you have accomplished something. And it's the people. The one thing about haters always want to bring you down to their level. So technically, they're looking up. They're looking up at you.
Yeah.
So they want to look up to you, but try to bring you down to their level. So no. So I rise above it. So haters to me are like, they motivate me. They motivate me. At the time, they may hurt. The words they say, they may hurt. But like I said, I always laughed at them. When I got teased in high school, I got teased in elementary school. And I've basically been teased all my life. And I laughed at it simply because I knew it wasn't me.
Wow.
The person that they was talking about, yes, it was funny. But then when I really looked down and I said, it was funny, but then when I looked deep down, I said, no, that was hurtful. But I laughed at it because it was funny, but what made the haters upset is that you don't supposed to be laughing at you. So then all of a sudden said, oh, something's wrong with you. You laughing. Don't you understand that we are talking about you?
Yeah.
I said, no, you're talking about somebody else. You're not talking about me. Because if you really know me, you wouldn't be talking about me. You'll be loving me.
Wow.
And one day you will.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest joy, when you can walk and you know people are going to hate you. And you can say, they said, wow, graduate, I knew you was going to do it. And you just smile and you say, yeah, sure you did.
Yeah.
And it's like your best kept secret against a hater, because you knew exactly, no.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do you like with the way you did me.
Yeah.
And basically bring you down. Like they said, when people go low, you go high.
Yeah.
And that's what I think of haters. You know, haters, bullies. It's funny. Haters, bullies, people that's jealous it's one of the biggest disease or sickness that it has, because if you can end up just showing them the love will then eventually turn them around, because that hater, that bully, or those people that do things, it's going to be one point in their life that is going to come to the point and they're going to have a realization that they was wrong. You may not be there, but they'll be there with themselves and look in the mirror, and they're going to feel so hurtful and pain. And right now, to all the haters out there, that you know you never got a chance to apologize to me, don't worry. I turned it over to God a long time ago, but you are forgiven.
Wow, yeah. And I mean, that's the mind of a champion, really, to just be like an eagle and soar above, because you sometimes see eagles and they're like being attacked by crows and stuff like that, and they don't fight back, they don't do anything, they just fly above it, they just go even higher. So I really like that. And there's a quote that says, it's from the Bible, it says, I will make your enemies your food. God says that. And so I think like just perceiving haters in that way, like, use them as fuel, use them as motivation.
Use them as fuel, and then you basically kind of like you're showing them the ultimate love. Especially when you end up accomplishing something, or either look at them and you still say, you know what, no, I don't hate you. You know, I don't know why you hate me. Maybe because I had bigger dreams. Maybe I had the power to visualize my success. I don't know what went wrong in your life, even though my life is not great, but my dreams are powerful. And once I have faith in my dreams, they're going to even become more powerful, because now I'm trying to make those dreams materialize in reality. So in a way, you end up making a hater, because a hater may learn from you. As much as they may be the person that's trying to pull you down, but they will learn from you one thing or another, and hope they learn the positive part, because you basically, like, it's almost like they said, turn the other cheek. You know, like I said, you turn the other cheek, and then if they hit their cheeks, I ain't ran out of cheeks, so I got to climb higher. Yeah. So eventually that, like you said earlier, that I would tell people, I said, birds flock together, but seagulls soars by themselves.
So your sister, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, is also a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and the world record holder in the heptathlon.
Yes.
And so you two made a pact growing up that you were going to make it.
Yes. And
so I'm just curious to know, because you guys like really paved the way, like as far as family members go, you two were the first like brother sister team to, you know, become gold medalists, and you were dubbed the title, the royal family of track and field. So what is it, because I talk a lot about mindset on this channel, do you think that you guys thought differently? I mean, you've talked a lot about self-belief and faith and, just, believing in yourself and visualizing.
Yes.
But is there something more specific maybe that you guys, a specific mindset that both of you had when it came to accomplishing your dreams? And
I think one of the most significant things is what anybody, and I think everybody has this, is a mindset when you struggle. When you struggle, can you really outrun or outjump that struggle? And that struggle of life, that struggle of a way of living, and that mindset that helped me and Jackie is that we wanted to accomplish something and we wanted to give back. And I think that, but at the time we didn't know what we wanted to give back to, but we just know that we wanted to show people and really show ourselves that you can really accomplish anything you want to if you really believe in yourself. Because we had heard that all our life. Our mother said, treat people how you want to be treated. Mother said you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. And then we heard that in the Bible, having that faith. So with those pillars, and with our father and mother, and then even our own little small community, they had faith in us. So we felt like it was our honor, it was our duty to go out to show them that whatever dreams they had in themselves, they saw it in us. And if they saw it in us, we wanted to make sure that the dividends that they paid in us with the love and respect and the guidance, that we hope it was good enough to make sure that their dreams do come true. And I think that pact that me and Jackie made was that we wanted to make sure that we showed each other, that we kept each other accountable, that we can make dreams come true. We can tell the little kids, the people that, we was no Olympic champions ever came to our city.
Yeah.
We never even know what Olympic gold medal looked like.
Yeah, because you came from, you grew up in East St. Louis.
Yes, East St. Louis, Illinois. That it was a very violent city. So people never came to our city. So everybody we saw was on TV. So it was almost like they weren't touchable. Right now, when we go back to our community, they can actually touch us. They can actually talk to us. So, and we remember that. So it's an impact. So, but it was just based on two little kids. They had a dream. They had a mindset. They wanted to become the best of what they did, but also wanted to help people. And that's just like right now, my sister, she does a community center. She gives back every day. And it's hard because she got in the middle of a city that basically is really a death trap, and she's still there planting roses in a desert.
Wow.
And that's why I told her, I said, I'm really proud of her, but my goal was to get out of the city and do it my way. So that pact that we made has really, continue to grow right now, because we're going to start trying to do things together and try to make a bigger impact. But it just, when I think about it, I remember us stirring something in the pot. I don't know why we had that pot. But we said, we're going to make it. She said, yeah, we're going to make it. Yeah. I said, we won't forget.
That's too cute. I love that. So you coached Jeff Henderson, who recently won the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
And so what is something that you really try to instill in your athletes when you're coaching them? What kind of mindset do you try to instill in them? Is it the same sort of, believe in yourself and...
Yeah, I have to get them to believe in themselves, because I tell them that it's no way that I can believe more than you, because you're going to be the person that actually accomplished it. So basically, it's a process where if you have a person like Jeff Henderson, he had this drive. It's just kind of funny. I remember seeing this little young man going back and forth, and I was trying to get him 3 or 4 years ago. And everybody said, "Why you like him?" I said, "He got something." And I think I've been blessed to see that when a person has something, I can see it, and it was something about him. And then when I got the chance to know him, he did everything I asked him to do, but then to get in his mindset, because see, the year before he won his gold medal, he had the biggest heartbreak of it all. That he lost, he was the favorite. And then I had to rebuild him, not rebuild him, but just let him know that no, these situations happen, but he wanted to know why. Because he said, I worked hard, I did everything else I was supposed to do. And the key point, it was the mind. It was the mindset. He wanted it too bad. Because it's just like something, when you want something so bad sometimes, you can hold it so tight, you may break it, then you lose it.
Yeah.
So you can't want something too bad and lose the focus of what's really happening. You basically have to almost like take a deep breath, relax, and do
surrender.
it. Yeah, and basically get out of the way and try to make it happen. Just let it happen. He was already prepared. All he had to do was now just go out there and let it happen. And when you have all those tools, you are sometimes your biggest enemy, because you may get in the way of your own dreams, because you may want it so bad and you're not being clear. But that's one thing that I said for him at an early stage. I told him when I first got him here in California, I said, Jeff, it's 2 track meets over these next 3 to 4 years. That's the Olympic trials and the Olympic Games. And then the next thing I had to tell him, I said over these past Olympic Games, 27 feet has won the gold medal. So my goal for you is to make sure that your worst jump is 27 feet.
Yeah.
Because that I'm trying to tell them, on your worst day, you will be the best in the world. If I can get you to visualize that and believe that, on your worst day, your worst day that you're not feeling good, you know you can go down there and jump over 27 feet, that you're going to win the gold medal.
Yeah.
Leading up to that 3 to 4 years, he was the best jumper in the world. The day that he won his gold medal was his worst jump.
Wow.
And he said, you remember you told me that, coach? And so he said it was 2 track meets. And that was interesting. But the key point, and that goes back to mindset, because his body was ready, because it was the mindset. And that all it did was reinforce me to the point when I coached Florence about getting her ready. When I told her, I said, you're going to run this time out 25. She said, Al, if I run that fast, they'll dissect me. She ended up running that fast.
Wow.
So it let me know that when you put something there in the person's mind, and you keep just clicking away, it eventually is going to materialize. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And that's a part of your faith, believing yourself, and really taking the negative out of the situation. Every situation, even when I got injured or anything else, I said, God just don't want me to have it yet. I didn't say, oh, poor me. I said, no, it's just not my time yet.
Not the right time.
So right now I said, that's a building block. So I learned I said, make sure that I don't do this the next time. So I found how many ways not to do something. And then at the end of the time, so when it did happen, I was more prepared for it. And I look back when I, like Jeff, I don't think Jeff would have been prepared for his success that he's having right now, if not all the struggles he had. And he had it rough because he had a lot of haters.
Yeah.
A lot of haters. And his mother was bedstricken for ever since before he even went off to college. And for the lady that took him to every track meet, not to see him win the biggest thing, that's who he dedicated his mother to. It's just kind of like those type of things and those type of stories and that type of connection. God had his hands in that, where he made 2 people crossways. I went to Arkansas State University. He is from Arkansas. Wow. And I told him, I said, do you understand that, when I won my gold medal in 1984, they said I was the first Arkansan guy to win the gold medal. And I said, that's really not true, because I was a transplant. I said, you was born and raised here, so really, you were the first. And for me to coach you, it was kind of like honor, because there's never really been an Olympic coach to coach an Olympic gold medalist to coach a gold medal winner.
Wow.
So with that, those type of things keep happening. Just like it's nothing that I planned, but it's something that I had in the back of my subconscious mind that I also like to be a great coach someday, but I like to be able to help people. I want to show people that you can follow your dreams. If you put the work in, that dreams do come true. And so right now, it took 25 years later to have another gold medal winner in my training camp.
Right.
But it let me know that this
because you coached Florence as well. Yeah.
Yes. And it takes the same thing. And I found out that all those champions, they really get out of the way and they trust the process. Even all the heartaches, because he didn't have no sponsorship, he didn't have anything else. It was kind of like, so, and he really had to believe me, because he didn't have no money coming in, and he had to have faith. So not only that he had faith in me, but he also had faith in God and his own power, believing I just had to keep him there.
Yeah.
And so for him to win by 1 centimeter on his last jump is one of the most exciting Olympic Games, long jump competition in the world. And we finally brought the gold back to America, which we had not won a gold medal since 2004. So it was glad to bring it back. And I was happy because I'm a part of that. And it's kind of like, And it's great, and it couldn't happen to a nicer young man.
That's awesome. There are a few things that you said that I just wanted to touch on, and I love that you said that you never saw not getting to where you wanted to be as like oh no, that's it, it's done. And one of my favorite quotes is, God's delay is not God's denial. And I think that's so important to know that just because you ask for something or you want something and it doesn't show up in your life right away, it doesn't mean that it never is going to. It just means that maybe it's not the right time at this moment. Maybe you still have a little more growth to do. Maybe you still have a few lessons that you need to learn before you are prepared to be the kind of person that can, accomplish that dream.
Yes.
And I really like that you said that. And then also that you said that, sometimes we hold on to things too tightly. We want something so bad that we end up getting in our own way and we actually prevent it from happening. And that is something that I have mentioned on this channel before, because a lot of people ask me, well, I visualized, I set out, I wrote my affirmations, I, made my goals and all this stuff, and like, I was so close, I met this person, this happened, this came into place, but then nothing happened, like nothing came out of it. And I think that sometimes, like I know in my own life, there's been times where I've wanted something so bad that I end up preventing myself from getting it. So I think just that, like, surrender, like allowing, just know, when you know it's going to happen, you don't need to force it, and you don't need to force anything, and you just surrender and you trust. So I like that you mentioned that as well.
That's the key word, trusting. And then because of all those experiences, you know now what to trust, when to trust, who to trust, and what trust looked like. Because of all the experience and everything else you learned. So each one of those headaches, those setbacks, those falls, you learn from those to the point, even to the point of like you may have spent money and gave this person, somebody swing out something, you use it and say, okay, it was a lesson that I had to pay for that I learned. It was an expensive lesson, but I learned. But it's preparing you for the bigger picture, because as long as you stay on that course, you're going to know these things, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a different type. And for me, that's the thing that's happened to me. Like, I know what love is. I know what real love is. I know what believing in something, and I know what not giving up on something. When you really want something, you know what to sacrifice for, and at the same time, regardless how it may come at you, you know that, no, that's it, because I have seen this for, and I'm not letting it get away. And that's the way, the experience, the journey, is helping you get prepared for the beautiful destination where you should be. Not where you say, oh, I could have been. No. That journey is really preparing you for what that other beautiful destination where you're going to be. And it's going to be so much lovely, because you're going to be able to withstand. You're going to be able to see things very clear and understand where, back in the day, where it said, oh, that affected you. And then you're going to say, no, that's not it. I see that. Oh, I see that that's love. That's not hate. That's not jealousy. That's another form of love, to a point where if it is jealousy, you know how to step back from it, saying that, okay, you just upset.
Another form of admiration, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. And then another thing that you said that I really liked was, just that it really comes down to mindset, that you can train, you can work hard, you can do all these things, but if your mindset isn't in the right place, it won't happen. And I think one of the main things that you've said that stood out to me was the fact that, like, with all the haters and with everything, like, you just knew, knew in your mind, like, who you were, and you had this, because I talk a lot about self-image and how important it is to have, don't just say that you want to accomplish something, but have the self-image of the person who is going to accomplish that. And you already had that self-image, like, I am a gold medalist, like, it doesn't matter what you say.
Exactly.
And you already had that self-image to where it didn't bother you to what other people were saying or what other people were doing, like, you just knew. And that's, I think, another big thing.
You have to almost act like it's already done. It has to already happen. It had happened in my mind so many times. I remember the two words that I had to change was that I will the Olympic champion. I am the Olympic champion. So I started carrying myself as an Olympic champion. And it's interesting. It's just like, you may not, and you can try this as an experiment, that if you go to an event and they checking for bands and everything else. If you just walk in there like you belong, they'll just let you in.
Yeah.
And it's your presence to the point because he look like he's belong here.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to question him.
Yeah.
So it's the way you carry yourself, and if you carry yourself like a champion and everything else, they're going to treat you like a champion. And that's the way I felt that I was already Olympic. I already was a champion. All I had to do was just go wake up and get the medal.
That's awesome.
But I was already an Olympic champion. I was the best I could be. And that's why I tell people, I said, you can be if you're better than you were yesterday, you are better. And that's all you have, because yesterday is in the past. So why bring my past in the future when it's in the past? It has been filed away. I will not do what I did in the past because I'm going to make it better.
Yeah.
Because you already know the mistakes you made in the past. You're not going to make the same mistake. You're going to make mistakes, but they won't be the same ones.
Yeah.
And you got to build from that.
Yeah. And I love that. And I think that's so funny that, like, if you act a certain way, people will just be like, okay, yeah, go through if you're on an event or something. And I think Steven Spielberg did that when he just learned the name of the security guard and, like, was buying coffee and then found his own, like, empty, like, room and put his name on it. And it's like he just acted as if he belonged there and nobody ever questioned it. And I've seen that there's so many different stories of people doing things like that where they just act like they belong in a certain place.
Yes.
And then they end up actually belonging there.
Right, because it is the way you carry yourself, and you have to carry yourself with confidence. It's a difference between confidence and being cocky. Cocky to me is a person that they want to be confident.
They're really insecure.
Exactly. Confident person know who they are, believe in themselves, and regardless won't let anything shake them.
I agree with you completely. And so my next question for you is, what advice do you have for people watching who want to accomplish their goals but maybe have hit a roadblock or feel like their dreams are just too far away or maybe like too big to accomplish, or just really feel like they're having trouble getting to where they want to go? What advice do you have for them?
The advice that I have to the people out there that feel like there's a roadblock, remember the word is a roadblock. And that block is that it's just a block in the road. That means you either climb over it, go through it, go under it, but it's the way to get away around that roadblock. So anytime anybody have any type of setback, and no dream is too big. I don't care what anybody said. The dream is only too big is because you think it's too big.
Right.
But if your goal is to reach the stars, go for it. And I believe that you really have to believe in yourself 110%. Every time that you take 2 steps backwards, that means you may take 5 steps forward. And you never fail. You never fail until you stop trying. So the simple word that I have people out there, that regardless what they do, look in the mirror and remember, you love yourself first. If you love yourself first, it's easy to love everybody else. And if you love the dreams and you know that it's something that's going to help yourself, help your family, or help the world, remember, it started with yourself. And you just want to share that. So there's no such thing as a roadblock, a setback. Because if you fall down and you can look up, that means you can get up. And if you can get up, you can go, continue to accomplish, and climb. Remember, success is about how you keep going through the struggles to make an even bigger success of a bigger struggle that you're about to go through, which means it's going to be a bigger success. So any person out there that has doubt in their mind, disbelief in themselves, you go back now and look yourself in the mirror and look yourself truly inside your heart and eyes and say that I can do this. And if you can say that, that means you can accomplish anything in the world. And if you have that faith in God and in yourself, believe me, I'm here to tell you that whatever building is there, whatever mountain is there, you're going to be able to climb it, and you're going to be able to soar like an eagle. So I just have to say, Brigitte, that it just really goes back to the person, like the person in the mirror. You look at yourself and look deep in your heart and know that you can accomplish this because, first of all, you asking yourself this question. You have visualized certain things, and you visualize the things that's going to make you happy. But the thing about that is, when you try to make yourself happy, it's really going to make the world happy. Because most people that have big dreams, they want to share.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that you said that basically failure isn't failure until you give up. Like, as long as you keep moving forward and as long as you're continuously pursuing your goals, like, you haven't failed yet. And another thing that you said, like, you know, you may take 2 steps back, but 5 steps forward, like, just reminded me of a quote that says, new levels, new devils. Like, when you're growing, you're gonna reach new obstacles, and that should excite you, because you may feel like discouraged, like, man, I'm facing, like, it's like one thing after another, but it's like, no, like, new levels, new devils, baby. Like, if you are facing new struggles, that means that you're growing, so you're on the right track. So get excited, because
and when people are talking about you, that's good, because that means that you doing something that people, wow, you know, they talking about it. And you know, no, but they talking bad about it. Doesn't matter. They're talking about you, and it's something that you instruct a chord or a nerve or something, and that's a good thing. And it's something that I wanted to say about that. You know, people always say, wow, you know, it's like more money, more problems. Right. The more money, I want more problems.
Yeah.
I want more problems. So the more money I get, the more problems. But they're not problems. They're challenges.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that when you do things on a bigger scale, you're going to have more of them. And that's the whole point. But you're going to learn from them. And the whole point, once you master it, like I said, you really never fail until you stop trying.
Yeah. And
you know, and like, as long as you can keep trying. And like I said, I wanted to go to Olympic Games. I thought I was going to go as a swimmer. I did go to Olympic Games as a runner. So the goal was still accomplished, just that I got there on a different vehicle. In a different way than you thought you would. I thought I was going to catch a boat. I ended up running to the Olympic Games. And I think, just to add to what you said, I think the only time you won't face problems is when you're dead. So, so be glad if you are facing problems, like you said, like, because and those adversities are growing you to the point where you can handle, like, more money, more problems. You're being tested to grow into the person where you can reach a point where you can handle those things. Because, you know, I can't help but think of all the things that I have learned. I always try to pass them on. And, you know, even when it comes to contracts and different things, and I heard people say certain things else, so when my athletes come and ask me a question, I laugh at them. And I laugh sometimes because I say, wow, that's why I went through this journey to explain this to someone, because there was nobody to explain it to me. I didn't have it. I went through the school of hard knocks. And I got a PhD in streetology. And so when you find out that everybody that may be, that because sometimes people who may say that they're Christian, or they're a good Christian, or they're a good person, or they may be good, but at the same time, are they good for you? And the whole point is that you can't judge a book by its cover. You got to open it up and read the book, because sometimes the most ravenous books has almost the richest knowledge in the book. And I remember my mother told me this. She said, make sure the words that you talk about somebody be sweet as honey, because you may never know when you may have to eat them.
Whoa, that's deep. That makes me want to pay more attention to my words when you think about eating them. That's really good.
So I always remember that. So, and that's the same thing of just basically, treat people like you want to be treated. Because you never, if you want to be treated like bad, well, you're going to be around people that treat you bad. But you want to be treated kind of, you just want to give back. You want to give what you get back. You know, and like they say, if you end up giving, if you think you're giving, you really end up giving. You're going to end up receiving it back.
And that's something that everybody, like all the most successful people that I've studied have said, like, you just give to enough people, you can get whatever you want. So make your focus giving, make your focus serving. But I agree with that. So I know we've talked a lot about success, but if there is just number one factor that you had to say is responsible for an individual's success, or just one final message, just if you could say one thing to the audience, what would that be?
is as soon as you asked me that question, the one that came in my mind was basically faith.
Faith.
You just have to have faith in yourself. And you just saying you got to have a leap of faith. You just have to have the faith in yourself that regardless of whatever you're going through, that I can make it. I'm going to make this accomplishment. And if you can hold on to that, and if you think about anything else worth having, it's that you're going to always remember people say, I had faith that it was going to happen. I had faith that I was going to accomplish it. It's going to always be in any part of somebody else. When you really dig deep, they're going to let you ask a person, and you know, what was it? It was my faith and love. It was my love and faith. But at the end of the day, it's still faith, and that embodies of the word of love. And if you have that faith, for me, I think it's always been faith, which I think is just a hidden, a secret person of love. I think, like they said, love conquers all. I think faith is just an inside of love. Because if you really love something, regardless of what it is, it's going to make you happy. And love, like they said, love conquers all, because they said, find a job that you love. It seems like it's not working. And that's just love. And in order to get that job, or get that, you had to have faith in yourself. Believe that you would find the right love, the right person. It goes back, I knew I had faith in that.
Well, thank you so much for all your words of wisdom, all the gems of knowledge that you shared with everybody watching today. I really appreciate it, and I know everyone watching does as well. And so again, just have faith, believe in yourself, know that no matter how big or outrageous your dreams may be, that they are within the realm of possibility, that you can make them happen if you believe and if you persevere and if you use those roadblocks as lessons and those struggles as just teachers, and perceive them as something that are helping you grow into a better and stronger and more resilient person. So where can people find more of you? You have Twitter and Instagram?
Twitter, Twitter, I'm mostly Twitter, but I guess people can follow me on Instagram.